Good evening and welcome to 3Y TV for tonight's broadcast of the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series presented by Stay Tuned Sports and the Total Nonstop Racing League. My name is Bob Giaquinto, and joining me in the booth, as always, is Garrett Gleason. And Garrett, we're at Bristol, the last great Coliseum. This is going to be a fun race tonight.
Fun race, Bob, and I am so excited to be back at Bristol. As you guys are well aware here on 3Y TV, I've called a lot of Bristol races. I love this place. I love the action, and I think these truck drivers are going to put on a heck of a show tonight, Bob.
And you know, you are 3Y TV's resident Bristol expert, with air quotes obviously around the term expert. Tell us about this track and what exactly can we look for in tonight's race.
Bob, this isn't your granddaddy's Bristol, as they would say. Those old videos of Earnhardt and Gordon riding around the bottom, bumping people out of the way. Those days are well gone. Now, Bristol, half the year, they cover this track with dirt. Well, at least we have some concrete out there tonight, but these guys will utilize that high lane. They will diamond the corners, but it will be old Bristol because sometimes you're going to have to do the old bump and run, and that's when it gets exciting out there.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one of those races where it's a short track. It's only, about half a mile long. So cars are going to be in close contact pretty much all race long and all around this race. How hard is it to stay out of trouble when you're in such close proximity to everyone else?
Bob, braking points are key here, especially when you're following someone into a corner. If tire wear or lap traffic or whatever becomes a factor and somebody adjusts their braking point, that's when you have that potential to run into someone, and then the tempers flare and all of that. So you have to be on your toes every single lap here and be prepared for the unexpected.
And when it comes to pitting in this race, hopefully we'll be able to see some green flag pit stops. We had a great race last Tuesday rather, at Las Vegas. This is one of those tracks where the pit road is all the way along with some invisible walls. Tell us more about that.
Well, yeah, Bob, Bristol dual pit roads. I believe that's what we're running tonight. You can correct me if we're wrong. So I believe all the trucks will actually be pitted on the front stretch because there's only 17 trucks here. But you can make a mistake. You can cost yourself the race by going down the wrong pit road, making a mistake on exit. It is a different element that you're not used to. Usually, like you said, pit roads are connected. You get in, you maintain your speed, and then you have an easy exit. Well, here, you have to keep following the guidelines and don't make that mistake, or don't pull down pit road like Mark Martin did that one time, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. You have to kind of keep your head on a swivel this entire race, and you got to remember the white flag means one to go. It's not the last, it's not the final lap. Tonight's race, we do have another fantastic group of sponsors bringing up, making tonight's race possible. First is Fisher Disc Golf. They're out of Muskegon, Michigan, and they are your #1 stop on Michigan's West Coast for everything disc golf. And gee, I don't know about you, but I've never played disc golf, but I really want to, especially now with Fisher Disc Golf jumping on board.
Bob, that's the least we can do. Get out there and get hooked up. Fisher Disc Golf get out there and let's send some videos and show these people how it's done. I mean, I'm sure everything we need is right here on this nice webpage. And I don't know if you need friends to play disc golf, but I'd like to make some. If not, so that'd be great. Maybe I could be the cool guy for once in my life.
Oh, gee, I was going to say I would join you, but I feel like the drive is just a little bit out of my way to get out there. But if you are out there, especially out in Western Michigan, check them out online. They have a really cool code, 15% off for our broadcast. Use the code RALLY at checkout. You'll get 15% off. How awesome is that? We have our own discount code with the guys at Fisher Disc Golf. So, I mean, look at this. All these different discs. They just look cool. I want all of them.
Bob, I love bright colors. You've seen my paint schemes out there, and these discs are certainly up to my standards. So what an awesome thing, sponsoring us 3 weeks in a row, our inaugural 3 races. Heck, I'm ready to get rid of Stay Tuned Sports right now, Bob, and give them the title sponsorship to the series.
Right, move over, Jimbo. We got a new sponsor in town. But in all seriousness, thank you so much to Fisher Disc Golf for joining us. We have Boltjet Charter joining us as well. And if you're looking to plan your next business trip literally anywhere in the world, they will take you there on a private luxury jet. I mean, I don't know about you, G, but I've never been on a private jet before, but I definitely need to. And I'm kind of hoping we get, a couple of sponsor freebies, throw in an endorsement fee, and let's get us out there. Where do you want to go?
Well, Bob, I certainly don't have Peter Short's money, and I'm not able to fly private all the time, but I was on the Robbie Gordon Motorsports private jet for a couple times in my life, and Bob, to be honest, that jet was a piece of crap. So these jets from Boltjet Charter are much nicer. So check them out if you have the means, and definitely go somewhere in style. Bob, I'd just like to go to maybe the next town, but with gas prices, I don't think I'm getting there.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with me at least living in Jersey, it's a very commuter-heavy state, and us Jersey drivers are a little angry sometimes. So, I might have to book a charter flight the next time I want to go literally anywhere outside of the state. But, special thanks again for Fisher Disc Golf. Don't forget 15% off with the code RALLY at checkout, and friends at Boltjet Charters for jumping on board for tonight's race. Meanwhile, back here on track at Bristol, qualifying is underway. So far, Adam Williams, one of the newcomers here for tonight's race, put up the fastest lap so far, a 14.862. Mike Tellier up on the board. He goes second fastest in his first lap, I believe. That one was only 6/1000ths off of the pole pace.
No shame in starting on the front row here at Bristol, that's for sure, Bob. Track position will be important. Not a huge field, but those laps wind down quick, and if you're at the back of the field, that leader gets to you in a hurry. So definitely one of those places where if you can start up front, definitely do your best to put a lap down. But guys that don't put a lap down, they're certainly not out of it, but it will be go time probably sooner than they expect.
Yeah, definitely. We just saw Connor Barry pull off there. Barry didn't have the best lap, 15.261. As we look here at I believe that is the number 06 of Kevin Powder. A couple of new paint schemes out there. The 06 there, Powder, looking like a couple other cars out there on the track right now. So we'll talk about that in just a second. And don't adjust your TV screen. That is not Garrett Gleason out there on the track. That's the 7 of Kevin Stone. Stone coming down practicing pit stops after putting up a lap of good enough for 9th place, 15.071. So more cars right now going across, putting in lap times. Sean Winkler there as well. And with him pulling off, it looks like the track is looking pretty quiet as of right now. Not too many other cars coming across and putting up a lap just yet.
You know, Bob, if that number 7 truck wins tonight, I'm going to celebrate like I was driving it. Certainly the truck I'm out rooting for, that number is so near and dear. And Kevin, he's had some horrible luck in total nonstop racing. He's a heck of a driver. And I would celebrate like it was Jimbo's birthday party all over again. Jimbo, you're still recovering. You're getting old, bud.
Those are actually, you're seeing a live, actually a pre-recorded or a preview, I guess, of Jimbo's birthday party over the weekend. Happy birthday, Jimbo, by the way. I saw they're talking about that in Friday night's broadcast as well. So I'd like to know how they got that shot of Jimbo with the boot there. It's a very interesting fashion choice, gotta say.
Hey, if I had a face like that, Bob, I'd wear as much sunglasses as I could, too.
So right now, the track is quiet for the moment. Just about a minute left or so here in qualifying. Then we'll get the race underway. Just a couple of cars have yet to put in a lap or just have not hit the ready to race button. So far, the drivers who have not put down a lap is Jason Shu, Nathan Ramsey. Nathan Ramsey looks like he's pulling off of pit road now. So looks like the 4 is about to put in a lap. 10 of Casey Brunson has yet to do a lap. John Eckhart and Matt Vanderkoy, the other drivers, not able to go. We see here the 4 machine, Nathan Ramsey. He's out there right now.
Bob, is that number done with tape? That looks like that number's on there with like some sort of duct tape, don't you think?
You know, it does, and I was just thinking it might be perfect for Bristol. We've seen cars in the past. I know a couple famous ones, Mark Martin and Dale Jr. both had to put their number on with tape, and maybe Nathan's just getting ahead of the game here.
That might be a backup truck. Maybe he was part of an accident or something happened in an accident. I'm just kidding, because obviously that's not part of iRacing. But looks like maybe we're getting ready to go here, Bob.
Yeah, looks like we're getting ready to go now. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's race. It's the Fisher Disc Golf Boltjet Charter 150 tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And your starting lineup on the pole with a lap of 14.86 to the 78 machine of Adam Williams. On his outside, the 97 of Mike Floppy Tellier. Row number 2 has Bill Edwards and Tristan Thuggy Maher. Jason Gracias, Jeff Price in row number 3. I've heard Jeff was able to get some internet fixed on his car, so we won't have as many connection issues hopefully going forward. So good to see him with a great qualifying run. In row number 4, the 6 machine of Dave Bodio, and on his outside, the 49 of Mitchell Adams. In row number 5, we've got the 7 of Kevin Stone and Josh Edmondson on his outside. And rounding out row number 6, the 06 of Kevin Powder, and on his outside, the 27 of Sean Winkler.
Yeah, these people in the back, I like to call them the Gleason guys, because this is usually where I start. We have Cody Sandlin making his debut in the number 9, starting 13th. Ian Fisher rolling off 14th in the 81. Nathan Ramsey in the duct tape machine rolling off 15th. Connor Berry in the 38 had some speed last week, 16th. Keaton Swain rolls off at 17th. John Eckhart is outside in 18th. Crystal King, who had a lot of speed, start 19th. Casey Brunson rounding out your top 20 in number 10. Matt Vanderkoy will start 21st. Our good buddy Jason Shu in the Dale Earnhardt machine will start 22nd. And Garrett Gleason's up in the booth. Here we go, Bob. Enjoy the peace and quiet now, because once this green flag comes out, it'll be gone for 150 laps.
Yeah, 150 laps here in tonight's race at just about, 75 miles, give or take? I went to school for communications, so math is definitely not my strong suit. So looks like they'll be getting ready to go green next time by. You see the 78 machine of Adam Williams warming up the tires, testing out his launch, and on his outside, 2 races in a row now. The 97 Mike Floppy Tellier starts second place here on the grid. Hopefully lap 1 goes a little better for him this week as opposed to last week's race, G.
Bob, I'm glad you mentioned it, because I've been friends with Mike for a long time and I didn't want to bring that up. But yep, certainly what happened. Mike's out there to redeem himself. Surprised that the leader, who does have lane choice, I believe, did not take the outside lane here at Bristol. So he's going to hope to clear that 97 pretty quick and get up top, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised as well that he didn't take it. Maybe it was, he just didn't know. Maybe he figured, okay, might as well just see what's going on. But the pace car is off. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway here at Bristol. Williams is going to lead the field down into turn number 1. Good side-by-side battle pretty much throughout the whole field. Williams is going to get a good jump heading down into turn number 3, and he'll lead lap number 1.
Heck of a start for that 78 truck. I doubted starting on the bottom, but he made it work, and he set off to a pretty decent lead. That's a huge lead here at Bristol, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, 3-4 car lengths or truck lengths, I guess you could say, after 1 lap is pretty darn good, that's for sure. As the rest of the field is able to make their way by. Everyone looking good and clear so far. We'll knock on wood, but 4 laps into this thing, a couple of different battles out there on their track. You see the one there, Jason Gracias to the inside of Josh Edmondson. Edmondson and I believe Kevin Powder. Those are the 2 drivers who have identical paint schemes, and of course they're right next to each other out there. So the blue number is going to be Edmondson. Powder is the black number there.
Well, thank you for clearing that up for me, Bob, because I wouldn't have a clue, because I'm not a professional like you and our producer Carlos. So nice of those guys to represent their sponsors, and I like that they changed the number color, so that does make it a little easier. Well, we have a caution. It looks like Thuggy 17 to me, Bob.
Yeah, it looks like 17 Tristan Thuggy Maher in the wall. A little bit slow there, getting back underway, and he's going to duck down pit road. So it'll be interesting to see what happened there, but first yellow of the race, 6 laps in.
Yeah, 6 laps in, Bob. Let's take a look at this. Thuggy running the bottom line. Wow, did he get some help there?
Yeah, it looked like he might have gotten a little bit of help there, because it's I know it's fairly simple to spin coming off of the corner like that, but this view will definitely be a good look there. And just a little how-do-you-do tap there from Bill Edwards, and around goes Thuggy. Luckily, though, no one else caught up in it.
Yeah, I was actually going to pick Bill Edwards as my upset winner tonight, but if he's going to do that to everyone in the field, he's definitely going to be the winner. All right, so Bill, calm down out there, but
Hey, it's a long race, 150 laps. You can use a chrome horn bump and run, but it's a bump and run, not a dump and run there.
yeah, I think Bill just misjudged the speed there. How much of a speed difference he had with the run he had, and Tristan was a little slower in the bottom lane. That sort of thing happens. I'm sure it wasn't intentional. So these guys will figure it out. I hope that 17 is able to continue rolling.
Yeah, and gee, as the resident Bristol expert, I mean, that's got to be pretty easy just to misjudge coming out of the corner, especially when, you have a little more momentum on the high side, you have a little quicker way around on the low side, and it's just, you kind of go after the same piece of real estate.
Yeah, exactly. Real estate closes up in a hurry. When you see a gap, even it closes up in a hurry. But like Bob, I might be the Bristol expert in the booth, but I am like a moving chicane on new tires at Bristol. It takes a long run for me to actually get in my groove, get my points going, and start making moves forward. So little runs like that, 6 laps, that would. I probably wouldn't have gained any spots. I probably would be at the very back of the pack. I need a good 40, 50 lap run just to get in the groove. I mean, these guys are much more talented than I am, but something to keep an eye on as we're getting ready to go green.
Yeah, pace car lights are off. Leader leading all of the laps so far tonight is the 78 of Adam Williams. Not much change there in the top three. It's still Williams, Tellier, Bill Edwards. Your top three. Jeff Price so far up a couple of spots. Mitchell Adams up a couple spots as well. Really, everyone kind of moving up a handful of spots here and there. Not too many huge leaders, or huge gains rather. But as we say that, the lights on the pace car are off, and it looks like Thuggy back out on the track 2 laps down, however. But meanwhile, up front, green flag is out. We're back racing here at Bristol.
Looked like a little bit of a lane change there. I think they'll probably let that go because he's new, but something to keep an eye on later on. But heck of a jump for the 78. Mike's going to try to stay in line. It looks like Jeff Price is up to third.
Yeah, Price looking really strong on that outside line, able to get around the 50 of Bill Edwards. Edwards going to be able to sneak in there in front of the 58 of Edmondson. But a really good battle there. Edwards just not able to get to his quarter panel. And now Price looking to pull away and set his sights on that 97 right in front of him.
It's nice to see that 14 truck not blinking. For a while there last week, I thought it was from another dimension. It kept coming and going like it was from another world, Bob. But it's good to see Jeff out there running competitive laps. And you better get away from that 50 because we've seen what Bill Edwards does to guys when he catches them.
Well, Edwards setting his sights there on the 14 of Jeff Price. Good battle going with these guys here. Meanwhile, you're not missing too much out front. Adam Williams jumps out to about a 0.3 of a second lead over the 97 of Mike Floppy Tellier. This right here is one of the best battles out there on the racetrack. But as we say this, look at that. The 97 able to close the door just a little bit on Williams.
Yeah,
so we'll see if
Mike knows how to get around this place, Bob. He is one of the best, and he's figuring out this line. Looks like he's diamonding the corners, coming off the corner a little lower, getting a run. Well, that time he didn't do it as much, but he's definitely gaining ground. He's going to be there.
Well, gee, when you do mention diamonding on the corner, just kind of explain how that works and what that does as far as your momentum lap by lap.
Well, it all depends if you're good at it or not. Some of us just miss corner entry, and then we're forced to diamond the corner. But like Mike is doing it strategically. He's letting the truck float in nice and easy up top, and then sliding down the hill on his exit and keeping that momentum as we have a yellow out on the track.
Yeah, it looks like another yellow there. Didn't quite get to see who that was on there. It looks like the 49 Mitchell Adams is down on pit road. Not sure if it's related to the yellow.
I heard a dog screaming. I hope nobody hit a dog on the track, Bob. I'd be very upset as an animal lover.
I know. I'm a big dog fan, so hopefully no dogs were harmed in the making of this wreck. And oh man, yeah, it looks like Mitchell checked up a little bit sooner than Barry could, and oh man, he just got stuck inside the wall.
Wow, that is a massive hit for the 49. As we're taking a great camera look here, a little closer look. We're watching the 49. Just gonna be one of those Bristol deals. Braking points are a little off. Mitchell could have had it saved, but then the double whammy and the old smiley face is stuck in the wall.
Yeah, not a very smiley face after that one. Just kind of looks like that emoji with the straight line for the mouth. That's kind of the car looking for that right now. But meanwhile, our first lucky dog of the race will go to the 17 of Tristan Maher, so he'll get one of his 2 laps back. And right now, I'm sure if I'm Maher, I'm saying, all right, let's get another quick yellow. Let me get back up on the lead lap, work my way through the field. I know I've got a fast car. I know I'm faster than a lot of these guys, and just got to work my way up through the field.
Yeah, and there might be a little motivation to get back to that 50 truck, Bob. Maybe give him a little love tap, pay him back the favor. I know Tristan's not thinking that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. He just wants another yellow to happen, get back on the lead lap, and then start picking them off one by one. But a lot of race left, so he'll definitely have that opportunity as we're looking like we're getting ready to double up here.
Yeah, still only 20 laps into this race. About a 75% fuel load for these cars, so they will have to make at least one pit stop out there. They've also got 3 sets of tires in the pits, so tires shouldn't be too much of a concern for these drivers. But if we do get a long green flag run, tire conservation is going to be pretty important here.
Yeah, that's for sure, Bob. Like I said, like veteran drivers, Floppy, Jason Gracias, those types, Bill Edwards have been doing this for a long time that I've raced with. They are very good at saving their tires, and those trucks I expect to see move through the field on a run. So if Mike can get out front here on a restart, and as the tires wear, I expect him to expand his lead. So we'll keep an eye on that.
That is for sure. Pace car is still out there on the racetrack. You've got the scoring pylon there on the left of your screen. If you want to see where your favorite driver is, take a look there. Lots of comers and goers and some newcomers in there as well. A few new guys. Adam Williams, I believe this is his first race with us here at Bristol for the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series presented by Stay Tuned Sports. A couple of other new drivers out there. The 9 of Cody Sandlin, currently running in 15th place, just keeping his nose clean and staying out of trouble. That's kind of the biggest piece of advice, especially here at Bristol. So, lights on the pace car are off. We'll be going green next time by.
Bob, these short runs I think get a little frustrating as a driver. I'm going to be curious to see on this restart if anyone's patience or just the lack of activity gets to them and they start making some wild moves. So that's what I'm looking for, especially back in the pack. Because if you think you're going to have short runs all race, you're going to take advantage of these restarts.
Exactly. Green flag is out, and we always say cautions breed cautions, but especially here at Bristol, high banks, side by side racing, you're gonna get in contact with another driver, and but so far, 1 lap after the restart, looking pretty good.
Yeah, let's try that broadcaster's curse again, Bob. But these guys are going to have time to get it sorted out here. Jeff Price, you can see some different lines there. He's a little bit of a groove up from where Mike is. Bill's a groove underneath the 14. These guys are using this entire track. And there's really no wrong way to get around Bristol as far as I'm concerned, because you have to be able to pass on the bottom at some point here.
Yeah, agreed. And I was even doing a little bit of test driving before the broadcast, and on new tires, that bottom line really kind of it seems almost as equal as that top line. But as the run goes on, you kind of wind up drifting up the track a little bit more because of old tires, a little bit less grip. It's going to be a tighter running race truck, so the outside line does become dominant. But with these first few laps, especially, I mean, we've already had 2 cautions, not a whole lot of green flag action on these tires. I feel like the bottom could be a viable option in these opening laps.
Well, Jeff Price is making a liar out of both of us because he's running that very top and he's making time out there like crazy. Mike had a little bit of a lift there on the bottom, and he's going to pay the price, go all the way back from battling for the lead to 4th place here.
Yeah, 2 spots down now for Tellier. He's going to slot into 4th place. Meanwhile, here up towards the back of the field, side by side, Josh Edmondson gets a little squirrely right off the bumper, the 1 of Jason Gracias. I saw the 27 of Winkler in there as well. But looks like cooler heads prevail, and we're going to stay green. But, man, that was some tight, close racing coming off of the corner, G.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't expect to see Jason Gracias back this far in the pack. That's kind of shocking to me that a driver like Jason Gracias, who was consistently up front here on 3 TV, is outside the top 10, even at this early stage.
Yeah, he started, and the thing is too, he had started back in the 5th position, so he actually wound up dropping spots ever since and wasn't around either of those wrecks. So you can't even blame any of the cautions for him losing spots. But I know, we talk about this a lot, but Gracias definitely one of those drivers who knows how to save their tires. So, maybe Gracias is just saying, all right, it's a long race. I'm going to save my tires as much as possible. If we get a slew of cautions at the end, maybe I'll be able to save a set and get some fresh tires at the end. But oh, trouble, as I believe that's the 9 machine of, pardon me, of Cody Sandlin gets a little squirrely. He's off of the racing surface. He's going to head down pit road, but a tough break there for the 9.
Tough break for the 9 as debut race. I saw you mentioned on our Discord it was a tough track to make your debut, and looks like Bristol got the best of him. Hopefully you can make it back out there. As we're watching Jeff Price actually drop back, and old man Bill Edwards up to 2nd place.
Yeah, Edwards with a nice move there, able to get around Price. Price really just sticking to that top line, and I'm wondering, G, if he's kind of taking your strategy of, all right, I felt the car out. Let's just get into a bit of a rhythm now and see where this goes. And if we get a long green flag run, I'm sure he'll be back up top.
Yeah, I think that's accurate, Bob. I think Jeff's going to do that. Just feel out these guys, let them race for it. Hey, I couldn't pass the 78. Hey, you go take a shot at it. Maybe we won't hold each other up here. But just thinking about Bristol and getting in that rhythm, Bob, my first couple races here on iRacing, my left leg was getting sore from hitting the brake pedal so many times every lap, like just on entry consistently. And like, it takes a lot of that, especially when you're not in the best of shape to begin with.
Oh, definitely, and I'm sure too, even with the load cell pedals that some of these drivers will have out there, basically just gives you extra resistance on the brake pedal to kind of simulate like you're actually driving the car. I know I recently got one as well, and it's been fantastic. But yeah, that left foot or left ankle rather gets a real good workout.
Look at this battle for the lead. Our side-by-side multicam here. We got a battle for the lead. 3 different lines again. We'll see which one prevails. But Bill Edwards in that 50 is there. Can he be the first one to get past the 78 truck out there?
Yeah, Edwards right on the back bumper, and there comes Mike Floppy Tellier as well on the back bumper of Edwards. And this is one of those things where the 78 says, okay, I got to get away from this. Hopefully the 50 and the 97 slow each other down. Let me check out. But right now the 50 is glued to the 78's bumper.
Just hoping they put enough pressure on the 78, let him make a mistake, maybe on entry there, get underneath him and be able to pull this pass off. But it looks like most trucks are having a hard time completing the passes on the bottom, so I don't know how long Bill's going to be ready to ride here before he might use that chrome horn again.
Yeah, we'll see here as we get a great front bumper cam ride of the 97 machine. And I mean, right here you can really see the different lines. As we have a car on the wall. That's the one of Jason Gracias. Everything is good, so we'll go back green. Here at the front, though, you see the different lines. The 90 or the 50 and the 78 looks like they're kind of copying each other's line. The 97 taking a little lower look here, but these drivers all on top of each other, heading off into one.
Bill's just itching to move him. I could tell it, Bob, as a fellow racer, and then you race, you could see it. Bill's like, you're holding me up, I'm faster, let me go. And if you don't let me go soon, you're going to let me go because I'm going to move you out of the way.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating being in Bill's shoes because you have a guy behind you who's just as fast. And as we say that, little bit of a slip up there by Edwards, just got a little too squirrely out of the corner. But just like that, whoa, what a run. To the inside, he's going to take a look for the lead.
Lap traffic up ahead, too. That's going to be a little bit of a factor here for 78. Oh, he got pinched. They saved it.
Wow, what a save. Williams somehow able to save that, pinched down in front of Bill Edwards, caught his own quarter panel, somehow kept it out of the wall, out of the lapped car, off of Edwards, kept it straight, and only lost about a car length.
I don't have any clue with the owner of 3Y TV, but we definitely need this as some sort of highlight package for our Total Nonstop Racing League. Here's the contact, Bill Edwards into the 78. 78 in his debut race, saves it up the hill, hits the duct tape truck a little bit, as kind of like bumper cars, straightens it out, and carries on.
Oh, what a save there by the 78 machine of Adam Williams. And with that, Bill Edwards says, well, I guess that worked out. Wasn't exactly what he was looking to do, but man, and that right there is why Bristol is one of the best tracks to watch a race at, because there's always action going on somewhere and you never know what could happen there. But as we say that, Williams falls back down to 5th. Now he's back down to 6th as Brunson gets around him. Kevin Stone got around him. So Williams now falling back just a little bit.
Those tires are screaming on that 78 after that move. He's just going to settle in here and probably hope for a yellow, but nothing to be ashamed of. That was one heck of an effort driving that truck and keep it straight.
And there's the 06 of powder there to the inside of the 78 of Williams. Looks like Williams might have caught the wall there. Go ahead, G.
Oh, I was just thinking for a second, and I'm actually may have just we missed my window for my point, so I might come back to it later. But we'll take a look at the 97 here as he tries to run down the 50 of Bill Edwards.
There goes Jeff Price as well, getting close. That is the gap between 2nd and 3rd place. Jeff Price there in 3rd. But so far, after that, things just got a little more clean. Now here's the 78 heading down pit road. Not sure if this is a scheduled stop or what's happening, but Williams down on pit road. Let's see if any more leaders decide to come down next.
One of those deals where I think he's going to need some tires after that spin and maybe hose the driver off with some water to cool him down a little bit, because I think he's a little fired up. But the point I was going to make is actually these trucks going into lap traffic. Most tracks you wouldn't mind having the lap traffic run the top lane, but here at Bristol, without a warning, you'd rather than run the bottom because most of this is momentum based with this progressive banking.
Yeah, and you know that's one of those things where lap traffic you kind of have to police where they go and where you go. And I mean, how hard is that as the leader to say, okay, lap car, get out of my way, this is where I'm running. And when you're not running with the spotter, it makes it even tougher as the lap car as well.
Yeah, it's tough for everyone, and as a lap car, the rule says you have to maintain a predictable line, and if you do that, then there's no fault. But if I'm the leader, I'm going to politely ask lap car, hey, could you give me the top here, could you give me the bottom here, like whatever you need. You owe it to yourself to be that vocal. As we were watching a gaggle of trucks here at Bristol, 4 trucks under a blanket, as we were actually before that watching a battle for the lead between the 50 and the 97, but this is a heck of a battle as well.
Yeah, Stone here on the outside of the 69 machine of Crystal King. King looks to fall back just a little bit. Meanwhile, here out front, that is the battle for the lead. Bill Edwards just in front of Mike Floppy Tellier, lap car in front of him. I believe that's the 30 of Connor Barry. And Edwards looks to the inside of Barry. He will get alongside of him.
Almost looked like the 97 could have got to the 50 there. It was just being nice. I think if this was the end of the race, the 97 would have tried to make a move there.
Yeah, and as we say that, looks to the inside of the 50 of Bill Edwards. Can't quite do that. And just taking a look here, the 78, Adam Williams, still down on pit road. And looks like he's actually taken his car behind the wall, so a tough break there for the 78. What a great run that he had before the race. But unfortunately, he's going to be calling it a night early tonight.
That's pretty sad. I hope it wasn't just getting frustrated with what happened. He did a tremendous job holding on to it. And maybe it was damage. Maybe there was some other issue. But seeing the 78 out, Josh Edmondson, the 58, looks like is also out. They're 2 really good drivers that we're going to miss having in the field here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. A few other drivers having issues as well. The 9 of Cody Sandlin still down on pit road. Mitchell Adams and John Eckhart have both also retired their cars. So as of right now, still 17 cars on the track, and we've got a lead change thanks to the lap cars there. Mike Floppy Tellier is going to take the lead.
They split Jason Chu like he was standing still there. Poor Chu. He's just trying to get out of the way, and there's really no correct way to go. But the 97 of Tellier takes advantage of that. He sets sail here. He's going to try to put as many trucks in lap down as he can here before pit stops.
And speaking of, looks like the 4 of Nathan Ramsey on pit road as well. He's a few laps down, so nothing too much there. He's going to stop in his box. But meanwhile, out front, that's your leader. 97 machine of Mike Floppy Tellier. coming across. Started in second, currently running in third. Bill Edwards just behind him, about half a second or so. But this right now is your 4 second between the 14 of Jeff Price and the 50 of Bill Edwards. Jason Gracias now looking to put the pressure on the 10 of Casey Brunson. Currently wearing number 8 on his truck, but that is the 10 of Brunson.
I was confused there for a second, Bob. I'm looking for an 8 on their scoring pile, and I didn't see it. I'm like, I hope Bob says this before I say something stupid. Crystal King here, Matt Vanderkoy. Nice battle going on. Crystal King, a lot of speed in these opening races. I know a lot of these Jim Beaver esports drivers and off-road drivers don't have all as much asphalt experience as some of the other competitors, but they have all the talent in the world, and it's no surprise to see them getting better and better as the weeks go on here.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, especially with those Jim Beaver drivers, Crystal King started out on the pole at Daytona, led a good amount of the laps, but unfortunately caught up in a wreck. Speaking of wrecks, yellow flag is out on the racetrack. We'll see what exactly had happened there. Looks like everyone is back rolling at the moment. We'll take a look here through our TV replay.
Well, we're watching the leader. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, Bob. We'll see if the 97 had an issue. So far, so good. Nope, here we go. We found them. Our second place battle. Jeff Price pulling a Bill Edwards on Bill Edwards. And wow, that's a tremendous, tremendous save, not hitting the wall. And then it looks like the internet blinked out again. We'll have to take a look from the 50s point of view, see what kind of damage Bill got as well.
Yeah, it just looks like a bit of an issue where both drivers were coming together. And meanwhile here, at the same time, Gracias and Shu. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, good Jason Gracias in that number 1. Did a tremendous job getting through there. We have our leaders pitting. If certainly those who ran that stage, that part of the race along, this is definitely going to benefit them. Some of these other drivers might have to take a chance on either a wave around and a quick caution or something else to get back on the correct cycle here.
And I think what's interesting and important about this, as we're at the halfway mark of the race right now. Obviously, not all 75 laps were ran under green flag conditions, but we had a good 30, 40 some odd lap run there at before this caution. So tires could definitely be a factor here as the race goes on. There we see the 1 of Jason Gracias in front of him, the 50 of Bill Edwards. Little tiny bit of damage on the front end of Edwards' machine, but doesn't look like it's all too bad, and he should be pretty decent. It's not like this is an aero track.
Yeah, you can get around Bristol with that type of damage, that's for sure. And Bill's talented enough to make it work for him. Even I've seen drivers even down on power here at Bristol able to keep their momentum going and run some pretty good laps. So I don't expect to see an issue there. But getting ready to re-rack them here, Bob. But like you said, 75 laps. If that was your first set of tires used there, you're in good shape for the rest of this race. You could run this next stage, this next part of the race, 30 laps, and the yellow comes out. Come in, get another set of tires. You're gonna have enough tires at the end here. So good job by these drivers who have managed their tires, and that was a nice run there to get to halfway.
Yeah, it's all about tire conservation here, especially with those green flag laps. There we see the 21 of Keaton Swain getting himself caught back up to the field. So we'll take a look at the order so far. The leader is the 97 machine of Mike Floppy Tellier in second, 50 of Bill Edwards, Jason Gracias in third, Casey Brunson in the number 10, but number 8 on the race truck there in fourth. And Kevin Powder rounding out your top 5. There is the field right there, and gee, you can tell it's Bristol because not a single clean car out there on the track right now.
Yeah, well, hey, the Bristol, use up your equipment, that's for sure. And it looks like we're getting ready to go back green here. Mike's going to take the top, which is what we were suggesting earlier. And if you're Brunson behind Tellier, you're not going to give that 50 any room to get up there. You're going to try to keep momentum and make that bottom lane a complete disadvantage for those guys starting down there.
That is for sure. So the pace car lights are off. Going to make a hard left turn down pit road. They're side by side. Green flag is in the air. What a great jump there by the 97 of Tellier. Able to keep the lead, and he'll be shot out of a cannon right there.
I love seeing Mike run this well, Bob. I mean, Mike at super speedways is one thing, but Mike has been putting together consistent runs everywhere we've gone. And as a racer, mentally, and that momentum that you get mentally just by having these good runs over and over, week after week, just it makes you a better driver. And Mike's always been a really talented driver, and now he's putting the results down to paper.
That's for sure. Not only is he a great driver, he's also a great painter as well. I know he's painted a few of your cars. He's painted actually all of my cars right now that I'm running. Floppy was able to paint, so talented painter as well. Currently out in the lead. Meanwhile, back here, good battle forming between the 06 of Powder and the 69 of Crystal King.
Yeah, King has the position. Powder wants it. Top 5, very important. Was that Thuggy's truck? He's not on the move left, to the best of my knowledge. Just up there battling, and it looks like we have some contact again here. I think oh, yellow is out.
Yep, yellow flag is out. We're getting yelled at by our producer to stop with the commentator's curse, and yeah, G, you gotta stop. Come on, man.
Oh wait, you heard that voice too? I thought that was just in my head. I didn't know somebody was actually talking to us.
But either way, the 69 machine there, Crystal King, gets caught up in the wall, and we'll get a good look of the replay coming here.
Yeah, here we go. I thought the 69 was cleared. Moving forward, look at the 06 getting. Oh, we had some net code there. Nothing intentional there by the 06. Just for those quick summary of net code, sometimes iRacing thinks your truck is somewhere it's not on your screen, and it makes contact when there's no contact actually being made. So that's kind of what happened there. You see the sparks fly, and there wasn't any contact on our screen.
And that is just one of the most defeating feelings in iRacing is, you know, you were clear, and unfortunately it just kind of just happens, and it's just awful. You know, taking a look at the chat
as
well.
Yeah, read it. Go ahead.
Stay Tuned Sports says Garrett causes accidents on the track, and now he's perfecting it up in the booth.
Well, I got fired from the booth the other day by Peter Short, and I think NSRA pulled my driving license for the truck series. So, I mean, I do my best, Jimbo, and I'm doing my best, and I appreciate you letting me commentate on the series, even though I'm a hack in both the booth and on the track, and that's me dropping the chili. There's Kevin.
Yeah, live look there to Garrett dropping the chili that is the commentator's curse. But you know, meanwhile, up at the front here, Mike Floppy Tellier still your leader over Bill Edwards. Casey Brunson now up to third. And look at this, the one machine there of Jason Gracias moved his way up to fourth. He was back in, what, 11th or 12th just a few laps ago. So Gracias making moves.
Yeah, I've reviewed Gracias a couple times over the last few weeks, and he's been kind of smug about it. And I think tonight he's just playing with us a little bit, showing how good he really is. Hey, I'm just going to pass trucks when I feel like it, and you guys will wait on me. So looks like the 17 of Tristan Maher is getting back on the lead lap. I'm going to keep an eye on that 17 as well. I think he's fast enough to make some moves through here, but he'll be starting at the tail end here as the lucky dog.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where it was just, you know, a tough break. Both drivers going for the same piece of real estate as the first caution. But now with Maher back there on the lead lap, he's up to 10th, so anything could happen. But he's got a few lap cars to have to fight his way through first before he gets to anyone on his own lap.
Yeah, and you're hoping those lap cars give you a little room. And if I was a lap car, I always keep in mind who's on the lead lap, and if they get to me, I do try to give them a little bit of courtesy, but it's certainly not required. If you're racing, you have every right to race the cars for the lucky dog as we're getting ready to rack up here and go back green. And I think the intensity level has picked up, and I know that was netcode, but I think it's going to continue to pick up.
I could not agree more. This right here is going to be an intense few laps. You know, still plenty of racing to go. About 60 or a little over 60 laps left here in tonight's race. But yeah, you just kind of feel that intensity ramping up just a bit there, and a great jump by the 97 of Tellier, and 50 Bill Edwards able to sneak up in front of the one of Gracias, maybe, as they head off in the corner. Yeah, Gracias unfortunately going to fall back just a little bit. He's going to fall into the clutches of the 21 there of Keaton Swain. But meanwhile, out here at the front of the pack, here's Bill Edwards taking a look on the inside of Tellier.
Not wasting any time looking for that lead. That number one of Jason Gracias not firing off on the restarts, but like we talked about earlier, when the tire process will start catching back up to these guys.
Meanwhile, here, Edwards looks to the inside of Tellier. Can't quite get there this time by, but just behind him is that 10 of Brunson. And there's the one of Jason Gracias looking to yeet his way towards the front of the field. He's got all the millennial terms on the side of his car, so he's looking to use the power of avocado toast to make his way up through the field.
There's something wrong with him, Bob. I think it's fair to say that, but I'm always nervous on these restarts, like Bill Edwards using the tires up, trying to make that move for the lead. Sometimes it's best to wait. I know that's not really a racer mentality, but it's something to keep in mind if this race stays green, that you're going to want those tires at the end.
Meanwhile, here is Brunson, and yeah, how hard is it to save these tires, especially here? I mean, yeah, obviously the goal is to go fast, but at what cost to your tires, and how do you kind of gauge that?
Well, it all depends on how fast you are and how quickly you want to get to the front, because if you see that leader, you're going to want to get to that leader and go for the lead. You're back a little bit in the pack, you know you're at an advantage on the tires, or you could potentially make a move later because you're so good at saving them. You might keep that in mind and start adjusting your driving style to keep your tires cooler than the rest of these guys who are using them up. It's all a field thing, Bob. It comes with experience, and these guys who have raced for 15 years online are definitely at a little bit of an advantage to the new guys, but certainly something you can learn and get better at as the season goes on.
See a few cars down there on the apron. That's the 60 of Matt Vanderkoy. He's a few laps down, coming back onto the racetrack after a fairly lengthy stop on pit road. There is the gap between first and second, between Tellier and Edwards. Meanwhile, throughout the field, a couple of different battles to look at, a couple different packs of cars as well. The first two are separated by quite a bit. And then looks like between third place and, gosh, about sixth place, eighth place maybe even, in one pack. And then another gaggle of cars just a little bit further back. So everyone kind of spread out right now on the racetrack. And right now, though, this is pretty good looking battle for the lead as Tellier coming up on some lap cars.
Yeah, Tellier seems to be pulling away just a little bit, but Bill's not going to let him get out of sight, at least not right now. And like you said, these lap cars could play into this as we've seen earlier, but I'm just looking at the timing and scoring. Looks like third and fourth are pretty close, fifth and sixth are pretty close, and once you catch that person in front of you, you're going to realize really quickly if you're faster than them or not, and if they're holding you up. And as these leaders are pulling away, it becomes more and more urgent to make that pass and make that pass quickly.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Catching him is one thing. Getting around him is a whole other story. And, you know, we saw that with that great battle between Williams and Edwards in the beginning there, where Edwards was kind of saying, look, I'm faster than you. And, you know, unfortunately wasn't able to get the job done. But, you know, right now, if I'm Kevin Stone right now, I'm coming up to the back of the 06 and I'm saying, all right, I have to get around him as quick as possible to get around this guy and, you know, get myself up these leaderboard.
Bob, it gets frustrating after a while. You want to get to the guy. You want to let them know you're there. The guy or girl, excuse me. We do have Crystal King in the field. Don't think I'm saying that for any reason, but just you want to get to them, let them know you're there, and hopefully they see you and say, you know what, this guy races me with respect. I'm going to give him the opportunity to pass me or whatever. Let's not hold both of us up. But that doesn't happen a lot. I've had friends that I've raced with for years hold me up, and there's nothing more frustrating than being in a team chat with someone and having them hold you up.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's one of those things where it almost kind of, it takes that extra bit of something to not say, come on, man, let me by. I'm faster than you. Can I please get around you?
Yeah, it's the racer mentality. You want to pass them on your own merit, and you want somebody to pass you because they earned it, not because they told you to pull over. But I don't think we'll see anybody pulling over here at Bristol, especially with this race winding down. As the 06, the 7, and the 21 are within a tight group here. Jason Grassi is just a bit ahead of them in fourth.
Yeah, good looking battle here between these drivers. Not really able to gain too much time, lose too much time. They're at, I guess, yeah, I don't know about UG, but I'd say they're at this point now in the run where, all right, maybe that top line is going to be a little bit faster, but I'm going to protect the inside so the guy behind me can't quite get around me or get a run into or out of the corner.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about in that bottom line, Bob, is just bogging down your momentum and someone just getting a heck of a run, like we said, Jeff Price getting earlier, and just blowing by you like you're standing still. And that becomes dangerous to a point because if you try to pull up in front of them on the straightaway, you're going to get run over.
Meanwhile, here out front, the 50 of Bill Edwards, about a second, about 1.2, 1.3 seconds back behind your leader of Mike Tellier. That is the gap right there. And then another about a second and a half gap between second and third place of Brunson. And then here's kind of where the Congo line starts. You got Jason Gracia that's a little bit behind him, the 21 of Swain, Powder, and Stone as well. So, a few different just clusters or clumps of trucks around this track, and lots of great racing here.
Lots of great racing, and I'm surprised that number one is not picking up time on the worn tires as much as I expected. He's lost about a second since we checked in on them last time. He was about 1.6 or 1.8 behind. Now he's like 2.6 behind. So not the truck under Jason Gracias that I normally expect. And this battle here is truly something else because they've been with the same gap and making the same moves and run the same lines for lap after lap here, and nothing seems to be changing.
Yeah, it just looks like A, a whole bunch of fun, but B, the most frustrating thing in the world is Powder looks to stick a nose underneath the 21 of Swain. He's going to get to him, and it'll be a drag race down the back straightaway here. Swain is going to keep the advantage, but as we say that, yellow flag in the air. That's the 38 of Connor Barry. Looks like he was caught up in an incident. I think that might have been either the 17 of Maher or the 81 of Ian Fisher.
Well, let's take a look here. Barry on the outside. Jason Shu just wasn't clear there and just pinched the 38 into the wall. I think that was just a miscommunication there between spotter and driver. But we'll have to take another look at it, Bob, before I get censored or thrown off air again.
Yeah, it looks like here the 38 was around the 3, got a good run, and yeah, just a matter of not clear. And unfortunately, the innocent bystander, the 81 there of Ian Fisher, special thanks to him for jumping on board there with Fisher Disc Golf out in Western Michigan. Don't forget, use code word RALLY, 15% off Fisher Disc Golf. Also, Boltjet Charter for jumping on here as well for tonight's race. If you're just joining us, 116 laps here into tonight's race. Mike Floppy Tellier has led a good amount. I believe he might be leading the most laps so far tonight. It was between him and Adam Williams. Unfortunately, Williams got caught up in an accident and had to pull his truck behind the wall. Working on caution number 5 right now. A few cars came down pit road. A few cars stayed out, including that number 1 machine of Jason Gracias.
Definitely the first time we've had some different strategies out there, Bob, and Gracias staying out, Tellier coming down pit road. That's going to give certainly a tire advantage to the 97 who's been faster. So unless Gracias was laying back and saving some tire there, this could hurt that number 1.
Yeah, this could be interesting. I mean, with the tire difference, I mean, that's going to be tough. I mean, I know Gracias is really, really good at saving his tires, but there's a lot of guys out there. I mean, he's the only guy on the lead lap who stayed out. Everyone else came down pit road. So, old tires, we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I mean, when you drive a truck that ugly, you probably deserve to be alone. But in Jason Gracias' case, he's just trying some different strategy, get some fresh air, get that lead. And we'll see what happens, Mr. Nick Cam Caldwell C-Squared graphics machine.
A good, interesting looking truck. Looks like the Kevin Harvick millennial themed scheme out there. But right now, I mean, he's heated up to the front of the field.
And we know what his strategy is here, Bob. He's going to pinch that 97 down and hope to clear him and then set sail. That's the only chance he's going to have, I think.
Yeah, and especially with old tires like that, he's, it's 45 laps on those tires. He's going to have to, like you said, pinch him into the corner, get away from him, and just try to, keep him behind him as much as possible. But he's also going to have to focus on not spinning the tires when they go green.
That's a very good point, Bob. And we're 1 lap to green here, so something that Jason Gracias is thinking about. Make sure you don't spin those tires and cause a wad up here. But he's also, like we said, a veteran racer. He's going to know how to get the power down, and he might even take some liberties here with the timing of this restart to ensure that he gets past that 97.
Yeah, there's no real restart zone per se like you see in real life racing. You know, as soon as the pace car is off, the leader has the choice when to go before the green lights are on. So you know, maybe we'll see a little play here as pace car pulls off and Gracias taking it slow. Now he goes and gets a pretty good jump.
I'll say he certainly left them asleep at the wheel behind him, and we'll see if the new tires of Mike Tellier can make short work, or if Gracias is able to use his track position to his advantage. As we're looking at a tremendous shot out the back of the leader, and everyone trying to chase him down.
Yeah, there goes the 97 to Tellier looking to the inside of Gracias. Tellier makes short look of him, and oh man, they got close coming out of the corner.
It's a little give and take, a little respect, and Mike Tellier knowing as a veteran that he was clear there, and he's taking it, so good for him.
And if I'm Tellier, I'm sitting there, I'm saying, all right, the one is a little slower. Let's see if he can hold back the rest of the field, and I'm just going to take off and start my Tuesday night drive early.
Yeah, Mike loves this, seeing this behind him. He's using Jason Gracias as a de facto teammate right now. Hey, all right, Jason, yeah, you race all these guys. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing on here. But take your time. Don't let anybody pass you and get clear, because that's good for me, brother.
Yeah, Sandlin able to, or pardon me, Casey Brunson able to get around Gracias. The 06 of Powder looking to his inside as well. And looks like one car with some connection issues. That's the 21 of Keaton Swain. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, as Swain looks to the inside of Tristan Thuggy Maher there. Good to see Maher now running up inside the top 10, back on the lead lap. And they're all side by side getting stacked up by the old tires of Gracias.
This has potential for calamity here, Bob. There's not much room out there, and a bunch of different braking points. Gracias on old tires. This could end badly for someone if they don't figure this out soon.
Yeah, 25 laps to go. Everyone is starting to get a little more pushy as the race goes on. There's a slow car down there on the side, and oh, Gracias gets moved. Gracias into the wall. Everyone able to get around him will stay green. But man, it looks like just a little bit of a, all right, your turn to move, come on now, and they'll get going.
It looked like for a couple laps there, Tristan was trying not to get into Jason Gracias, and then he just couldn't help it anymore. He just, the speed difference became too much, and two guys who are administrators in our league certainly don't want to run into each other. And it was just go time for the 17. We're going to watch this again. He's keeping the nose a little bit clear here, going to try to get a run around the one, and just happened to get to that rear quarter and turn Gracias up into the wall.
And it looks like that second little tap there is what straightened him out. So luckily no spin, only a little bit of a drift through the corner. But meanwhile here, Bill Edwards looking to the inside of Kevin Stone. This is for the 5th position. Stone has it, and Bill Edwards wants it.
Yeah, I hope Stone keeps it. It's nice to see the number 7 in the top 5 at Bristol. I think I've done that once in my career, maybe, so it would be nice to see Kevin Stone. I might have to even give him an interview if he keeps that thing in the top 5. But as we've seen, that 50 of Bill Edwards, he was running up in the top 2 there for a while, and he definitely has the speed to make the 7 earn this top 5 position.
That's for sure. Now here comes Edwards around the outside, and the 10 here of Casey, pardon me, the 10, technically the 8 on your screen, Casey Brunson, moves up into the 2nd position. But this battle is only going to heat up with 18 laps to go. Cars are going to get a little more pushy, take a little more risks, and here comes Edwards to the inside.
Yeah, Bill knows it's go time. You want that top 5, like we've talked about on previous broadcasts. There's a big difference between 5th and 6th place as far as the rundown goes. You get that little notch in the column that says you had the top 5, and if you haven't had one this season or whatever, it could become something that you really need for point standings. So Bill's going to do everything he can to get by the 7, but I don't expect the 7 to make it easy on him.
Oh, they both got squirrely. They're coming out of the corner. Looks like the 50 kind of slid going through turns 1 and 2, able to collect himself, falling back about a car length or so, give or take. But man, this is a really, really good battle. And if I'm Edwards, I mean, I've been held up so much tonight. I know I've got a faster truck, and it's just a matter of all right, how am I going to get around the guy? And going to need a mistake like that. We just see the 7 of Kevin Stone getting in the wall a bit, and Bill Edwards says, "All right, thanks. I'll get moving now."
Bill had a bunch of ideas in his head how he was going to pass the 7, and then that happens, and you're like, oh, okay, thanks, and set your sights on the next one. That was a lot easier than it should have been there for the 50 to get that top 5, but he's not complaining.
That is for sure. Meanwhile, out front, Mike Tellier has gone out to about a 1.8, almost a 2-second lead over second place. So Tellier starting to drive away with this thing. I'm sure he's sitting there saying, all right, no cautions. Everyone keep it straight. And I just want to finish this. 11 laps to go now, coming to the line. I don't want any more yellows.
Yeah, Mike's got these three or 4 minutes we have left in this race, just thinking to himself, just stay green, guys. Mind your manners. Don't worry about running into each other. And there's enough of a gap throughout most of the field here that odds are against a caution, but it's Bristol, baby. You never know.
Exactly. You never know as we get the 3-wide TV multicam here. Good battle now between the 1 of Gracias and the 3 of Jason Shu. Shu 1 lap down, so he's just trying to get as much position as possible. Gracias restarted in first. He's already fallen back to 9th, last car on the lead lap. And right now he's 14 seconds behind the leader. So he's about a second or so from getting lapped after restarting here in first.
Yeah, that was the risk he took there, staying out in those old tires with a little bit of contact. He's going to do everything he can to stay on the lead lap, and if he ends up getting that yellow, either as the lucky dog or before he goes a lap down here, I expect Gracias to come in and get some tires.
Yeah, we see that. You see that little bit of a shadow above the scoring bug there. That's our leader, Mike Tellier. So he is on these 2 drivers right there. And Tellier's just saying, all right, Shu, get out of my way. I got a race to win. And Shu does that, just gets out of his way, lets him go by, and he's going to continue trucking.
Yeah, the 97's making it look easy out there, Bobby. It's kind of like we've seen Jason Gracias do so many times on 3-way TV. We talked about Mike being good here, and he's proven it. Very consistent tonight, running a good race, and knowing where to pass these lap trucks as well, and not holding himself up.
And speaking of lap trucks, I know we see Gracias just moving over and letting him go by, but at this point of the race, 5 laps to go, you kind of just have to say, all right, Mike, go for it. I'm not going to fight you, even though I'm going a lap down. It's all you.
Yeah, the respect and racing together for years since we were teenagers, that goes a long way. You know that Mike earns this win. Mike puts his heart and soul into this, and you're not going to be the one to cost him a win, especially as a lap truck.
Meanwhile, here you're getting a good shot of the 10/8 machine of Brunson. Casey Brunson putting on a good run. Started back in 20th place. Currently running in second. There's the 06 Kevin Powder in third. And this right here, battle for 4th between the 21 of Keaton Swain and Bill Edwards. This is a good-looking battle here with 2 laps to go. Leader getting the white flag now.
Yeah, best battle looks like it's between the 21 and the 50 there, but no problems up front. Mike saw that white flag. He could take a breath. Well, maybe he'll hold his breath for the next 13 seconds or whatever as he's heading into turn 3. Bob, let's take us home. Call the victory.
Yeah, Mike Floppy Tellier coming out of turn number 4. No lap traffic in sight. Mike Tellier, redemption here at Bristol. He's going to win the Fisher Disc Golf Boltjet Charter 150 at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it's a popular win from where I'm sitting, but gotta say, Casey Brunson, Powder in the 06, Swain, Bill Edwards, these guys all had nice runs. Crystal King rebounded, Stone in the top 10. Gracias hung on there for a top 10, and Winkler. Wow, good job by everyone, keeping the fenders on it for the most part, and can't wait to see the 97 celebrate here.
Yeah, Tellier right now currently celebrating by just doing some green flag laps. I hope his spotter told him, hey, race is over. You're good. You can celebrate now. But here he is flying around. Yeah,
I think he's Canadian, so his laps only count as like 75% American or something. So I think he's just making up for the difference.
The reverse Mark Martin we heard from our producer Carlos. That's a good one. Mark Martin obviously very infamously pulled down a lap before the end of the race because he thought the race was over. Wound up losing. I believe it was a Busch race at the time. But right now, Mike Tellier saying, "I'm just going to keep running."
Yeah, he's afraid we're gonna take the win off him because there's some sort of fluke. So he's just gonna keep going until somebody pulls him off the track for an interview, I think. But hey, Floppy, bud, it's the league owner here. You won the race, bud. We're not taking it away from you. Let's do a burnout with those tires. You saved enough of them. Let's get it done. See, he listens. He's got the broadcast stuff.
Well, it was either that or he was just making up for the couple of laps that he finished behind the lead lap last week with Vegas. But good to see Tellier out there. He gets the win, and we'll take a look now at the final standings, if words are gonna work for me tonight. For tonight's Fisher Disc Golf Boltjet Charter 150. Your winner, you see him. 97 machine of Mike Floppy Tellier wins the race. Second place, Casey Brunson. Kevin Powder rather, comes in third. Keaton Swain fourth. Bill Edwards fifth. Tristan Thuggy Maher, good rebound by him. He'll come up in sixth. Crystal King in seventh. Kevin Stone eighth. Jason Gracias in ninth. And Sean Winkler rounds out your top 10, G.
Jason Shu brings the number 3 home in 11th. Come on, Shu. I wanted that top 10, bud. Ian Fisher, 12th place. Nathan Ramsey, 13th. Matt Vanderkoy, 14th. Connor Berry will round out your top 15. Dave Bodio, 16th. Jeff Price, a bit bad luck there with the accidents, 17th. Cody Sandlin, rough debut in 18th. Adam Williams showed a lot of speed in the 78. Comes home in 19th. Josh Edmondson, not the race we expected of him, showing so much speed so far this year. Rounds out your top 20. Mitchell Adams and John Eckhart round out the field here in 21st and 22nd place, respectively.
So a good looking field out there now. We'll start getting a couple drivers ready in the interview waiting room, but gee, this was a very fun and clean race for sure.
Yeah, certainly the field size helped a little bit, but these guys, for the most part, other than a fluke net code and maybe some misjudged braking points out there, kept it clean and put on a really good show. They battled, but they battled fair for the most part.
So right now we'll getting some of our drivers together here in the waiting room. And once we do, G, you'll be chatting with our third place finisher, the 06 of Kevin Powder, as we're just trying to take a look to see where he got to.
Well, we'll ask our second and third place. If you're in the Discord or listening to the broadcast, please come into the interview waiting. But if not, we could just interview our winner, and we'll see if they show up.
Well, yeah, G, if you want to head down to Victory Lane now and interview the man, our winner for tonight's race, the 97 machine of Mike Floppy Tellier. G, I believe you're down there and you're caught up with him.
Well, Bob, it was going to take me 20 minutes to get down, but through the power of television, I guess we found him. Floppy, what a redemption story. Last week, I think you pretty much embarrassed yourself, your family, me as the league owner, the entire league, the fans, the sponsors, by wrecking on lap 1. This week, a completely different story. You put that number 97 in victory lane. How's it feel?
Dude, I can't even believe it was me driving. That truck was on rails. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm still flabbergasted. That was probably my best drive ever. Like I know you guys have seen me dominate super speedway races. This is a different type of high banks that normally I'm not good on a long run, but I don't know, something about tonight just hooked up and I was gone.
We talked about you knowing how to get around this place, a lot of experience. You talked about the truck being on rails. How did the setup feel? What was your preferred line out there? Where did you think you were making the most time on these guys?
Honestly, it felt good almost everywhere. Like, it seemed like it was fast on the first couple laps on the bottom, and then kind of just the middle of the track on the long run. And as long as you kind of didn't dive bomb into the corner and saved your right front tire, the long run speed was there. I mean, I talked with Tristan. I don't know how he was doing, but me and Tristan discussed brake bias adjustments before the race, and I think we made spot on adjustments. This thing was fast.
Yeah, there's no doubt in that. You put on a show out there, and certainly it was nice seeing you run as well as you did. You've been so consistent lately in our Grand National Series. You've been consistently fast in the trucks. Next week we're headed out to Auto Club. What are your thoughts on Auto Club, buddy?
Well, I don't know. I once again, it's a track where I don't think I'm good long run. I don't know if there is something that was adjusted in an update on iRacing I guess I like these tire wears models now or something. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, like I'm so inconsistent right now. We don't know what'll show up. I mean, you saw me last week. It almost won the pole and murdered all the fast cars at turn 4 on lap 1. And this week, almost on the pole, and here I am in victory lane talking to you guys. So who knows what type of driving I'll end up doing.
Well, what a difference a week makes, and my friend, I'm certainly proud of you. And before we let you go, I want to let you go celebrate, but give a shout out to your sponsors and your fans and friends and everybody else.
Yeah, first off, Hello Kitty and Sanrio for jumping on board. Basically everything I'm driving now. Hot Pink looks awesome. Sky Motorsports, the best teammates in the world. Let's see, guys here at TNR. Stay Tuned Sports for sponsoring the series. Mitchell Adams for putting it on for us. You guys up in the booth. Carlos and 3 Wide TV for broadcasting. I mean, without you guys, I mean, no one would get to watch this awesome stuff, and I wouldn't be here every week putting on a good performance for you guys. So, thanks again.
Well, we'll appreciate the 100 extra views from tomorrow when you're watching this race over and over in front of your friends and family. So we certainly appreciate that from a broadcast point of view. But congratulations, Mike.
Yeah, thanks. And I gotta go back and watch this tape for sure because I don't even know what I did. This truck was awesome. Thanks again to Sky Motorsports for the best equipment ever. That was a good truck tonight.
Well, Bob, I'm going to stay down here in victory lane with Floppy. I think this is as close as I'm going to get to winning a race, but I think you've caught up with our second place finisher, Casey Brunson.
I am, yeah. I'm down here now with our second place finisher for tonight's race, Casey Brunson. Casey, first of all, congratulations on the second place finish. That last restart was interesting. That was a tough battle there for the last few laps. Talk me through it.
Oh yeah, I guess Jason didn't have no more tires left, or he just trying something different. But yeah, it took a minute to get by him. But eventually, after we got by him, it was kind of just rounding around, waiting for the tires to fall off to move up to my top. That I like much more better than around the middle.
And talking about those different lines, obviously Bristol used to be a bottom heavy track. Now it's more of a top heavy track. But that middle line kind of started coming in towards the end of the run. How did that help you out, if at all?
I feel like the middle was more of an early run line for me, but once the tires fell off, I was much more comfortable up top, keeping it more straight and things.
Well, next week we're making our way towards Auto Club Speedway. What are your thoughts about Auto Club?
To be honest, I don't think I even on the track, so I guess we gotta buy it and get a couple laps in.
Well, it's definitely going to be fun out there with you. And before we let you go, Casey, do you have any shout-outs for us?
This WF Motorsports and everybody puts the league on, and y'all for broadcasting.
Awesome. Well, Casey, congratulations on the second place finish, and looking forward to seeing you out there next week at Auto Club.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, that is Casey Brunson, our second place finisher for tonight's race. And G, like we had both mentioned, Auto Club next week. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to that high lane, Bob. Again, we're going to a track where you're going to be able to keep that momentum and get that run, but we're going to see these trucks fanned out all over the place. Auto Club is truly an incredible racetrack. I'm glad they're not really messing with it and making it a short track, at least not right now. So I hope we have a big field next week, and these guys could draft and make some crazy moves, and it'll put on a heck of a show. It's one of those races that you don't want to miss, so mark your calendars.
That is going to be awesome. And, G, before we finish out the broadcast, I want to give a special thanks to our friends at Fisher Disc Golf, as well as Boltjet Charters. Fisher Disc Golf in Muskegon, Michigan. It is the #1 stop on Michigan's West Coast for everything disc golf related. Go check them out online. And if you're watching the broadcast tonight, you'll get 15% off with code RALLY at checkout, RALLY. So make sure you check them out. Also check out Boltjet Charters. They specialize in planning your next trip anywhere, literally anywhere in the world, with a private luxury jet. So you got to check them out. Also, special thanks to Stay Tuned Sports and Jimbo. You got to check them out. All the links and all the fun stuff are in the description of tonight's race as well. So for one final time, for Garrett Gleason, I'm Bob Giaquinto. Also, special thanks to Carlos Acosta as well for producing tonight's race on 3 Wide TV. We'll be back next week around 8:25 Eastern or so for Auto Club Speedway. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and we'll talk to you next week.